Everything the Oracle told me has come true.
Oh, please talk when you're like inside the safe. Pick up the goddamn fucking phone! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Mr. Anderson.
And the phone's broken.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Oh! Oh, what the fuck?
Alright, real quick, if you are just clicking on this video, part 1, the reaction to the first half of the movie, that is over on my friend Domi's channel. Please go over, click the link in the description, watch our reaction to the first half, and then you can come back here and watch our in-depth thoughts about the philosophy, the interpretation, the meaning, everything about the Matrix. But please go over and check out part 1 to the reaction over on Domi's channel. Link in the description.
That is not a lot. That is like an insane, like, that is... That's not a lot, sir.
Be honest with you.
Oh damn, he's taking out his glasses, he's taking out the little intercom thingy.
It's the smell. If there is such a thing.
Who hired? Who are they actually working for?
I mean, they're part of the machine world, right? I believe they're like just programs by the machines.
And I do. I fear that I've somehow been infected.
Because he seems to have feelings, though.
That's what he's saying. Like, he's saying he hates it here.
I must get out of here. I must get free.
Oh.
You're going to tell me, or you're going to die.
It's personal for him at this point.
Loose change. Holy shit!
I like that he adopted the other guy's style, though. Morpheus' style.
Right?
I love the absurdity of there being, like, one beep of, like, yes, there is a metal thing, as if, like, their entire body wasn't filled with, like, guns. You know what I mean? But it's, like, one tiny little beep. I feel bad that they're actually killing all those people.
That's true, because they're in the Matrix, but killing them does kill them in the real world.
Right? I love it when she does that. Like, that's so cool. I think we as human beings should say fuck gravity more often and just start walking on walls.
Start jumping around, fly into the ceiling.
Right? Like, what's stopping us? Fuck. Okay.
Neo, you are showing off now. You are showing off.
Like, we get it, Neo. You can do that. No, do it again, please. I know that he had a bunch of guns on him, but he has spent so much ammunition. How can he still go on?
That is one way to get through security.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be working there.
Where's the cleanup crew?
I feel bad for, like, the set itself, but it's true. The crew. I was thinking about the inanimate, like, set. Being shot to death isn't enough. You have to burn now, too, is what this movie is telling me.
Find them and destroy them.
At least their sprinkler system is functioning correctly.
Correct. Oh, wow. How did you see what you was doing there with his legs? What the fuck? What the fuck? That is not fair.
Trinity! Help!
What do you mean, help? Oh, this is why there's a dance move called the Matrix. It all makes sense in my head right now. I feel like I'm mind blown.
only human.
Dodge this.
Oh, wow. And that was a really cool shot, too. Oh, that's so interesting that it became the same, like the thing that happened in the helicopter.
Yeah, because I think the programs can just move anywhere in the Matrix. They can take over.
That is so unfair.
Operator.
Tank, I need a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter.
Oh my god.
This is the one thing I would want, just programming like this.
Oh my god. Please write my 15-page essay about gender studies for me. Please. Oh, that's where they're going.
No.
That's a big ass gun, but what if he hits Morpheus?
You better have some precise aim.
Wow. I love the contrast of us seeing him do like 1,000 shots and the agent just doing like
Just doing
2.
like single, right?
Right. And they're back with the water. There's so much water in this movie. They're always like doing sort of waterfalls too. Like the rain always looks like a waterfall. And then right now this also looks like a waterfall.
Yeah.
That is so fucking creepy. Is he gonna do it? He's gonna just... Oh, he's gonna do it! Nice! You better run, bitch. Oh, that is so cool. Ow. He really got over his fear of heights, like, so quickly.
Seriously.
He said, heights? There is no spoon. Oh! Why did the machinery look like it was bleeding red again? I swear.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know why.
It looks like the machines are actually, like, bleeding.
Yeah.
It might be, like, a metaphor that they're going for. I don't know how Morpheus isn't crying his ass off right now. Like, I'd be a little bit scared to be hanging on by, like, one hand. You would see me, like, crying. So... Okay, ma'am. Hold tight. Ah! Okay, how the fuck did she survive that?
I know it.
And did you see the whole ripple of the building when the
Yeah.
helicopter first?
It was so weird. Like, I wonder why it's rippling, though. And it's not, like, why is it trying to fix itself already? Like...
Neo, sooner or later you're going to realize, just as I did, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path.
Why does he need to speak in riddles? Just tell it like it is, man.
Damn it.
Ah, we got him triggered. Finally.
Pretty much almost over, so they're not gonna, like, do anything, like, big. It's so interesting that also the connection is made, like, through the phone and stuff.
Yeah. Like, that's their entrance back into the real world.
Oh! Had we ever seen that? What a mood! I'd be so creeped out, too.
He's like, am I drunk? What am I seeing?
Right?
Everything the Oracle told me has come true.
Oh, please talk when you're, like, inside the safety of the little thingy. Pick up the goddamn fucking phone! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh...
And the phone's broken.
Well, now what? Can't they do it through cell phones? Just walk with a cell phone and then connect through the cell phone, like...
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Oh! Oh, what the fuck?
That has got to be one of the coolest and most iconic action movie shots of all time.
That really is very awesome. Oh, kung fu time. Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy watching you die, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're doing that.
Isn't the stunt work just incredible in this film?
It really is. Okay. Now that's what I want to see. Holy wow. It's like stunt work mixed with some like special effects of like supernatural stuff, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, now you gotta throw him. No, not this. The opposite. Okay. Time to get up.
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability.
That's a good quote. I really like that.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
Okay, come on! Mr. Anderson, let's stick it up his ass. Come on, just do something. What? Wow. He did it. He's the first one to actually beat, Oh no.
And there he is again.
Okay, I spoke too soon. Sir, there's so much bigger shit happening that you simply cannot grasp.
Got a patch on an old exit, Wabash and Lake.
I hope he knows the streets well enough.
Yeah, that's true. I'd be like, Google Maps, turn
Yeah,
left
if
where?
somebody threw 2 streets at me, I'd be like... I still feel so bad for these human thingies who have nothing to do with this.
Oh yeah, just going about their day being like, what the hell is going on here?
Trying to buy some fresh watermelons and then boom.
Go on your left.
Ah!
Other left.
Ah! What do you mean your other left, sir? There's a left and there's a not left.
I think he went right. I think he was panicking.
Oh. I hate when characters throw themselves on the trash. It's so disgusting. I'm like, I would have possibly been dead because I don't think I could do it.
Like, let me
I'd be
pause
like-
for a shower mid-chase.
Honestly, I'd be like, I'm sorry, this is just too gross. I'd rather you just kill me here. Okay. The little hands are so creepy.
Alright. Don't they seriously look like insects? Like living, like bug creatures?
They look like a combination of so many different ones. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Oh, fuck. Hello? Oh, fuck. But he's bulletproof. Because he doesn't have to duck. Please, sir. It's fine. There's no spoon. Oh, wait. No, but that's part of a plan, right?
He's gone.
Would they actually kill him off? No.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
I love that she's so not concerned about the jellyfish thingies.
The Oracle told me that I would fall in love and that that man,
Oh.
the man that I loved would be the one.
Oh.
You can't be. Because I love you.
Oh, damn.
I love you.
Oh my god, is she gonna bring it back to life? How powerful of a kiss do you need to have to make that happen?
No.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, turn them back. That is awesomely cool. Oh my god. That's so interesting. He can see it, like the guy was saying in the beginning of the movie, that he sees the...
How it really is.
Right? And I love that he's not even trying. He's like... Oh my god. What an elastic man. That's a lot of flexibility. What the actual fuck was that? I guess he meant it when he said he was not going to be confined by the Matrix, huh? Oh, it sort of thinked again. I was gonna say, you better walk right out, and I'm glad that they got it. There's no way this is a happy ending. Where's the catch?
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible.
Wow, that's such a cool
It's a
transition.
choice I leave to you.
He said the same thing, like the same vibe. I see it.
I think this is officially the moment when Keanu Reeves became the coolest guy in the universe. Right here. This is when it became real.
Yeah. I think that's when he signed the papers, made it official.
Yeah.
Then that's when it duplicated, when he puts on the glasses. Oh my god. Was he just straight up flying? Okay. That was something.
So what did you think?
Okay. This was interesting. And I feel like the first thing that stands out to me is that it's a lot like, I feel like I thought the whole thing was going to be more about what he was going to do after figuring out like he was the one. I thought that like they were going to establish that he was the one in the beginning of the movie, so we would see like the entire goals, like everything that they want to accomplish now that he know he's the one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was the entire movie was actually leading up to the realization that yes, he was the one. So this is interesting though, because there are more movies, right? Like I don't know how many.
Yeah.
But
So there's 2 more, and then there's of course the new one that I'm really, really excited to see that's coming out. When we release this, it should be coming out like very around the same time. I think it's like the 22nd of December.
oh, cool. Exactly. So it's interesting because I feel like some movies you can tell that they don't have a story for the second one. They're just sort of bullshitting it because like it did well. So
Yeah.
of course they're gonna do it. But this one has a solid story for a second movie, because I
Yeah.
feel like they gotta explore more of Neo now that he actually knows he's the one, now that he's powerful, now that he's able to sort of defeat the agents. Like, where do we go from here? I think it's a really big setup. So I really like that.
Yeah,
That makes
exactly.
me curious.
I've heard interviews with the Wachowskis where they said they always planned a trilogy from the beginning. And I agree with you. Like, rewatching this, I really feel like they clearly are setting up for a bigger storyline that they had in mind.
Right? It feels like, yeah, that is true. This entire movie definitely feels like a setup now that you say it. Because I feel like they're setting up the world, they're setting up the character, more importantly, what the character is going to become. Because I feel like the Neo that we meet in the beginning of the movie is not the Neo that we meet at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So it's interesting to like be a part of that discovery with him. And I just want to see like how all that works out.
Yeah.
And I have a really random prediction.
Okay.
Cypher was an interesting character. Obviously, I was annoyed at him, but I feel like we did see him sort of like shrink into like a nothingness or something. But I feel like I could see him coming back for some reason. I don't know why. I had this feeling the second that he disappeared that maybe he could be coming back. So I feel like that would be really interesting. I mean, I don't know if he is coming back, but I really
Yeah.
had a very strong feeling from the start. So that could be
Okay.
an interesting thing, because I feel like the fact that they leaned into this plot twist on the first movie makes me feel like there are going to be plot twists throughout the movies. And I
Yeah.
feel like this could be an interesting one. Him coming back from the dead or something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily dead, but maybe he's just in another realm, another wavelength. You know what I mean?
I have no idea what happens.
I feel like I sound crazy, so thank you for that. Well, if people are interested, let us know, because if there is
Yeah.
a demand, then we could always try and do Matrix 2. But this is something that I feel like I definitely want to watch, at least on my own, because I feel like you said, it's such a setup, and I have to see where that goes. It feels like the story didn't conclude. I mean, it did for that moment, but
Yeah.
it didn't completely conclude. It leaves you wanting more.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. That was not a final chapter. That was like
Right?
Act 1, you know.
Exactly. And I liked the whole, like, for a whole moment there, before Cypher started, like, killing everybody, I feel like he actually had such a good point. I was like, is it bad if I'm relating with a villain if I sort of understand where he's coming from? Because the reality is that, like, he thought that he wanted to know, but knowing was just too much. And so he would rather live, like, a delusion. And while that is, like, incredibly sad, I feel like it is understandable that
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to cope. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kept thinking about that.
No, I think they really tapped into like a really good motivation for someone. Like they would have a real reason. Ignorance is bliss. Like I can see where he's coming from.
Oh, 100%. I just wonder if he would end up making the same discoveries. Even if he came back without knowing anything, would his path end up leading him the same way? Would he end up stumbling across something that would make him stumble across something, and then he would end up at the exact same place?
That's very
I
interesting.
don't know.
I'm wondering how he trusted the machines to hold out their end of the bargain. Like, how do you know they're just not going to erase you or torture you?
You're gonna trust machines? That's
like-
on him.
That's where I feel like, even from a selfish point of view, like I would not do that because I'm like, there's no guarantee. Where's the safety clause in this contract? Like, what are you gonna do?
So true. But I feel like it also just shows his desperation. I feel like he would rather trust these machines, even if they might not be saying the truth, because what was happening right now was not working for him. So he needed an out. So I feel like even if the machines did betray him and like killed him or something,
Yeah.
at least he'd be free.
That's true.
Because I feel like whenever they're talking about freedom in this movie, for some reason, my mind always went to like death. Because I feel like things are so complicated that I was like, I feel like the only freedom that you're ever going to get from what's happening in this goddamn fucking movie is to just die.
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels extreme.
No, I know. I think you're exactly right that they're kind of leaning into that. I think that a big theme of the film is, do you want to know the truth, even if it might not be something that makes your life better, like more fun. Like even the way
Yeah.
the Oracle told Neo, like I'm going to tell you something you might not want to hear.
Yeah, I feel like the Oracle also brought up such an interesting point with like the vase. If she hadn't told him, would he not have done it? Like, would that not have happened? I feel like my brain was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need about like 24 business days to process this, and we'll be right back to discuss. Because I feel like that just seems like such a big thing, like a big question of the universe. Because I feel like so much of this movie almost seems to be about fate and destiny and where things seem to be leading you and how you can like step away from that or like go into your role as like, the one and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels like it mind fucked me a little.
No.
What are your thoughts about that?
I actually feel like rewatching it, like there's things I don't think I fully understand, like philosophically. I'm like, I need to think about
That's
that,
true.
like what this movie means
Are we ever gonna know? That is my question.
I mean, I really admire the way that, like, to me, the movie feels like very tight and fast paced. Like things are moving at a
True.
good rate to keep your attention, but it's managing to bring up these very kind of profound themes and ideas and integrate that seamlessly in an entertainment experience. Like
That
we're not
is
sitting down
so
for a
true.
lecture, But now I want to sit down and like listen to a lecture to like understand this. You know what I mean? Like it's brought up
That's
all these
so true.
points while being like this thrilling action movie, like with these incredible set pieces, costumes. You know, you kept on mentioning like the
Coloring.
cool camera moves and things like that. You know,
Yes. I feel like what you just said about the lecture is so true. I feel like there's so much depth to this movie, which doesn't feel like it's a movie. At least I didn't go into it realizing that it was a movie that could go into like deep territory, because it's advertised, I think, as sort of like an action movie. So I was expecting the action.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was not expecting the having to think about all these like philosophical questions behind it, because I feel like there's so much that we're missing, that we're not getting. And I feel like this is actually a really cool movie to potentially listen to like people commenting about it and saying their thoughts and stuff like that, because I feel like you probably learn so much by different people grasping different parts of different things and bringing up different questions. Like I feel like this movie is great for discussions, or at least definitely feels this way right now.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. What do you have any thoughts on like the idea? I just kept noticing like how many characters they were brought up this idea of like, do you believe? And like everyone, it seemed like had different things that they could believe in. Like Morpheus choosing to believe that Neo was the one, and like the Oracle even was saying, even if I told him he wasn't, he would still believe it, which is kind of crazy to me, right? You go against the prophet. Or even Trinity, like the moment before Cypher was about to pull out Neo's plug, he's asking her like, do you believe? Like asking for that profession of faith, and she says yes, like when it looks like there's zero chance. So just what like I feel like I don't know exactly everything that it's saying. I'm just curious like your perspective on that recurring idea of like faith and the characters who choose to believe versus the ones who don't.
I feel like I'm gonna sound so silly if I say this, but they did mention like Alice in Wonderland, and they did sort of mention like the Wizards of Oz, and so for some reason when you say that, my mind goes to Peter Pan, and I don't know why. But you know how like Tinkerbell, like she has this whole thing where she needs people to believe in her so that she can like fly or something, right? Isn't there something like that?
I've actually never seen it, but I know that like I think they have to believe to fly or something.
Exactly. Like I think that, I mean, I haven't seen it since I was like a child, but that is like the message that I have in my head, and I feel like it's sort of the same thing. I feel like all these questions about believing were leading up to the fact that he was only going to be the one when he believed that he was the one. So I thought it was interesting, because it seemed like all of it was leading up to that one moment where he had to be the one who believed, because it didn't matter if everybody believed in him. Unless he believed in him himself, he would never actually get to be the one, because that's what made him the one, right? Like himself, his belief. Or no?
That's definitely how I interpret it. Like, I'm not going to say I have the defining word, but I definitely see it that same way.
Yeah, so I feel like this whole question of belief is just a setup for everything that's going to happen, and the belief that he's going to have in himself if he wants to be able to live and like save others and get them away from the Matrix and all those kind of things, you know. I thought it was I feel like it is a very interesting theme of like belief, and I feel like it's so much easier for him not to believe in himself, just because why the fuck would he be the one? And if he is the one, why would little Morpheus, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Why would Morpheus be so chill? Like, you made a great point about the fact that even if he was the one, Morpheus was totally like, oh, you can come here if you want to. Like, bro, if I knew who the one was, I was like, so you're gonna take this little pill, and we're gonna show you the truth, and there is no other pill, so don't worry. Like, this is, you know. I feel like I would have led him directly towards that, and so I feel like also all the choices that he had, or the ideas of choices, makes him come to this belief on his own, because he knows that he was not forced into this situation of the one. He's the one who built his own way to get there. So I feel like all of his decisions are what made that happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I see like there's so many important decisions, and Morpheus like letting Neo choose whether or not to go in.
That's insane.
It is crazy. But
Right.
I just think like that's how important it is. The only thing I would guess is that Morpheus has a confident faith that Neo will make the right choice. But like he said, like he also cannot force him to do it.
But it's so interesting that he would have so much faith in this guy who he just met. That is because he really thinks he's the one. Because if he wasn't the one, then I guess it would, I feel like he knows that the one would have to pick the pill to know the truth.
Yeah.
Like, the one wouldn't be somebody... I feel like they've got to be somewhat curious. So I guess deep down he knew. I feel like if he had picked the other pill, he would have been like, oh, never mind, I was wrong. You are not the one.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see, like, an alternate, like you were saying, like, if they had the...
Right?
You choose, like, how would Morpheus react? Imagine he just, like, loses his cool. He's like, what the fuck? I've spent years looking for you, bro.
Swallow this fucking pill. You're gonna swallow it right the fuck now. This is not an option. Option is an illusion. Honestly, I felt so bad for Neo and how many decisions he had to make, though, because
Seriously.
I'm a Libra. If I had to make that many, I would have frozen up, like, on the spot. Like, I cannot handle this much pressure for this many decisions. The second that they asked me another question, I would be like, I'm sorry, I need to sit and cry. So you go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna stay here and decide and, like, not get over my fear of heights, but, like, you do your thing, though. I do like how he embraced his fears of heights.
Yeah.
That was so symbolic to me.
Yeah, right?
I feel like it just shows his entire character progress. The fact that the thing that used to scare him sort of the most is now just,
Like, at the end, he's, like, flying across buildings, jumping across with a rope to catch someone midair.
okay, like, I guess we're doing that.
I hope it's not. I hope this discussion doesn't get, like, too up there and, like, just boring people like crazy. But I think I was just thinking about what you were saying about, like, talking about choice and then hearing what the Oracle has to say, like, when Neo knocked the vase over.
Yes.
I'm wondering if, like, that line that the Oracle said was almost, like, implying, like, that there's an illusion of free will and a choice. But is it that simple? Because the whole movie, it does seem like all that Neo, like, everything that's happening is Neo's choice. But is he really choosing? Or is there... Cause just for that line, like, maybe I'm overthinking this, but that's
I
just
think
what I
you're
thought
so
of
right.
now.
It's so right, because every time he was faced with the decision, we knew exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And I think that even if he thought that he could pick something else, everybody around him knew that there was only one choice. So I do think that this whole idea of free will is, like, bullshit. Because I wonder what would happen if he actually did pick one of the choices that he wasn't meant to.
Or was that even a possibility? Like,
right?
Like, was he destined to make the right choice? Even though it was important that he still chooses. Like, he had to choose to become the one. He had to do it. But is there... I don't know, like, is there something else operating that it's not as simple as that?
Yes, I completely, like, I understand exactly what you're going for. I feel like this movie almost seems like it has such a set route of what's going to happen, what needs to happen, that you're like, it almost feels all set in stone. Especially with, like, there being an oracle who's telling you the truth, who's telling you the future. It's like, the whole idea of her falling in love with him, of Trinity falling in love with him, was that a choice? Or did she fall in love with him because she realized he was going to be the... You know what I mean?
Like,
what
would
if that
she
wasn't
have
even
fallen
her
in
choice?
love if she hadn't heard that prophecy?
Would she have fallen in love if she didn't know when they were bringing him in that he would be the one, if he was just a random guy who didn't look promising?
Exactly. Maybe she just had her blinders on every time she went out, like, never saw the cute guys until it's like, the one, boom, there he is.
Oh my god, I see it now. I see it. It's my future.
But
That is so true.
I can't get over, like, how cinematic and visceral the Wachowskis managed to make, like, convey the feeling of some of these ideas. Like, I think they really lived up to what Morpheus saying about the Matrix. Like, I can't tell you, I have to show you. And they really, like, let us as viewers experience some of these high-minded ideas, but, like, it's a movie, and we're like, I got to feel those things, like, through Neo's journey. Like, I felt like that was making me, like, travel through his journey in an emotional sense, as well as, like, intellectually.
Totally. I totally see what you mean. I feel like trying to describe this movie to somebody is just complicated, kind of, because it's more than, like, what you could be able to convey. I do think that you have to sort of see it. And maybe that's why I've never been spoiled about what this movie is, like the intricacies of this movie.
Yeah.
Because even though everybody talks about The Matrix, like obviously I have heard about The Matrix like a billion times.
Yeah.
I can't tell you like what happened in it because I never actually heard anyone, like nobody ever talked me through the plot or like anything about that, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting. What were you going to say?
I
But I forgot what I was going to ask.
I'm pretty sure this is true. I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure that the story behind the making of this movie is that the Wachowskis, the studio, gave them a certain budget for the film. And they spent all of it on that opening scene with Trinity when the agents first showed up. They spent their whole movie budget because they were so confident that their vision was going to be so good and they needed more money that when they showed the studio, they would then finance more, and they did. But if that's true,
that is
the
so
guts,
bold.
the guts. Like, can you imagine showing up to the studio and being like, you know, all that money we gave you for a complete movie, it's 10 minutes, but it's so good, you're going to give us triple the budget.
If I was a studio executive, I would have like thrown myself off the window. I'd be like, that was a bad choice. Shouldn't have invested on this. Bye-bye now. But I mean, it really worked. So props to them. Like, they really knew what they were going for, and I can totally admire that.
Yeah, like
That's
that level of
insane.
courage, I'm like, yes, it takes that type of filmmaker to pull off a movie that just works so well on this many levels. I hope that's true. I'm 90%. Someone told me that, and they seem pretty reliable, so I think that's a true story.
How reliable are your sources, Thor? Do we actually trust them?
Because it's me, and I just turn a camera on. I didn't double check any of my facts. I didn't spend the time to Google for 2 seconds.
I could see that happening, though. Like, I could see them actually... I could see it being true.
Yeah.
Because also, I feel like it is important to give a lot of emphasis to your first scene, because that's what's going to hook people or not.
Yeah.
Because I have a little bit more patience, but people like my mom, if she doesn't like the opening scene of a movie, she will stop it like 2 minutes in. No mercy. She's
Yeah.
never going to see that thing again. So I feel like you really got to be able to grasp people. And I do think that that scene was so cool, and you so want to know what's happening, that it does make you want to keep watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely gets your attention right away.
Right?
I'm sorry if I didn't like have a lot to say, but it was fun
it's-
watching you. Like, I was just excited scene by scene. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see her see this move or this action scene or this epic line. Like, there's so many highlight moments throughout this whole film, I think.
It really is so I feel like there are so many moments that stick out to me, like the vase one that we were talking about. I loved the ending where they're shooting at him and he straight up says no. I'm like,
Yes.
Can you be any more iconic than this? I don't think you can. Like, that was it for me. That's when I was like, oh my god, okay. Like,
And did you notice that that's the same exact thing that Agent Smith said when they pull up in the helicopter? He had a quiet like no, but his no like couldn't stop the reality from happening. When Neo had that quiet no, it stopped that. That's just something I noticed this time around. I was like,
That's so
little
cool.
touches like that, you know?
That's why it's so awesome to rewatch movies. Sometimes you get so many details, especially in a movie that's obviously filled with symbolism and small little things that are like foreshadowing and stuff like that. Because you can just tell when something is made to be watched over and over again.
Yeah. I love that you picked up on the line when he's holding him in the train tracks. He's like, that's the sound of inevitability. Like, I've listened to that line over and over again, but for you to like notice that the first time through, I'm like,
I loved
so
it because
great.
you know that the train is coming and you know that like it's inevitable. It's like what you
Yeah.
said. I think this movie had amazing quotes, like honestly.
Yes, seriously.
Top-notch writing, which is impressive considering how action it is. Like, that's what keeps surprising me. I went in expecting an action movie, and I got a whole, like, therapy thing going on in my head while I'm also, like, analyzing the writing and, like...
Yeah,
I'm
religion,
just
philosophy,
overwhelmed.
free will. Like, how much is going on?
I'm feeling overwhelmed right now.
Did you have a favorite character and or performance in the film? Because I feel like there are so many good ones.
There really were.
The full-length reaction is going to be up on your Patreon, so please, everyone, go down below
And on
if you
Thor's
want to see
Patreon.
everything. And it'll be on my Patreon, too, if you're still here from the first half of the video. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Let us know if you want us to watch more of The Matrix, the rest of the series. There's a chance we might have Dune up right now for early access, possibly. If that's true, it's there. If it's not, prepare to be disappointed. I'm sorry I mentioned it. As
Then Thor's a liar.
as always, thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.